It's like a test and learn environment. So it's a test and learn environment whereby operators will be allowed to use either cryptocurrencies or blockchain, the DLT as a technology, in a controlled environment. So there are a number of restrictions in terms of the amounts wagered. So it's not the standard way which licensees can operate. But we said, well, operators need to learn and regulators need to understand how to properly regulate. In the meantime, but as a country, as you might be aware, we came up with 3 sets of regulations which were, I believe, came into force in November of 2018. And the Malta Financial Services Authority is now authorizing and or in the process of starting to authorize what we're calling virtual financial assets, which will include the cryptocurrencies. And the government set up the MDIA, the Digital Innovation Authority, who will be looking at blockchain as a technology. Our operators, so even though they have 2 options, they can either opt for the sandbox, but it will be with this test and learn environment, and there will be restrictions, which are not, obviously the restrictions are there because it's still a technology we need to understand. But in the meantime, many of them have opted to, if they wanted to use a cryptocurrency, they are opting to wait and have that cryptocurrency approved by the MFSA. And those who are looking at having the blockchain as a technology have decided also to wait and have it approved by the MDIA. Let's look at the gaming industry. The gaming industry became what it is today after 15 years. So for an industry to mature, it takes time. So, and as a country, and I agree with the decision, as a country we decided not to rush into it. So we could have rushed into this new technology, potentially a new industry, by cutting corners, by coming up with quick solutions. We did not do that. As a country we came up with proper regulations, and for someone to get approved, for someone to be sort of given the green light to operate in this, with these new technologies, it's not to a certain extent an easy step. Why? Because we want to regulate and we want to regulate properly. We need to understand that, for example, because sometimes I even meet individuals who believe that, okay, so blockchain will be the new gaming industry. And my approach is always very cautious. I always tell them, guys, this industry took 15 years, now it's maturing, now we have a proper industry, the gaming industry. But a new industry, it doesn't happen overnight. So we need to be cautious, we need to do it, but we do it properly so as to future-proof even this industry. What I think is that it has the potential to revolutionize the industry. Why? Because if you look at our sandbox, when we issued our sandbox guidelines, we were approached and had the feedback. We issued two consultation documents when we were drafting our guidelines. 70 unique operators, either through blockchain or through gaming, were helping us shaping and drafting our guidelines. So that means that there is huge interest. We've seen in the gaming industry, we've seen operators who were looking, for example, at automating the payment solution through a smart contract. So we've seen even operators who are looking at automating and using DLT for the KYC, the Know Your Customer. The KYC is very important for the gaming industry because each and every player and each and every operator needs to make sure that there is KYC on each and every player. So they need to know who he is, they need to know exactly who he is to make sure that the player who is wagering is actually the person who is saying he is. And that through blockchain, we've seen even use cases, test cases where that through blockchain was quite better to a certain extent. Using blockchain was very advantageous both for the player and for the operator. So there are a number of use cases which will eventually be introduced in this industry as well, in the gaming industry.